This letter from Pahoran to Moroni, in Alma 61, it really just pulls you in.
Oh, yeah.
You can feel the weight of this rebellion.
Absolutely.
Right there in Pahoran's words.
Yeah.
He writes, I do not joy in your great afflictions. Yeah, it grieves my soul. Alma 61.2.
Yeah, it's not just like a military threat he's talking about.
Right.
It's a deep personal grief. This rebellion isn't just happening out there. It's tearing at the very fabric of their society.
Yeah.
Dividing families and friends.
And it sounds like things are really falling apart.
Oh, yeah.
Pahoran describes the rebels as exceedingly numerous. Alma 61.3.
Okay.
They've gained a lot of support.
Yeah.
They're using some pretty underhanded tactics.
Right.
He even mentions how they've been using great flattery and led away the hearts of many people.
Yeah.
Alma 61.4.
That's a tactic as old as time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Using deception, appealing to people's desires to manipulate them. It's a reminder that even those who consider themselves righteous can be susceptible to these things.
Yeah, and the consequences are serious.
Oh, absolutely.
Pahoran says in Alma 61.4 that they've withheld our provisions and have daunted our freemen that they have not come unto you.
Right.
So they're not just spreading lies.
Yeah.
They're actively undermining Moroni's ability to fight.
Undermining the whole war effort.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, there's the fall of Zarahemla.
Oh, yeah.
Losing their capital city to the rebels.
Big deal.
As described in Alma 61.8.
Huge blow.
That's a strategic blow.
Yeah.
But it's also a symbolic one, right?
Absolutely.
The heart of their nation is now in enemy hands.
Yeah. It's a huge loss.
It's no wonder Moroni's frustrated.
I bet.
But what gets me is Pahoran's response. He writes in Alma 61.9, It mattereth not, I am not angry, but do rejoice in the greatness of your heart.
Wow.
I mean, he's facing a rebellion. He's been driven from his home.
Yeah.
And he's still focused on unity.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Right.
Yeah, it shows a remarkable depth of character.
Yeah.
He's not concerned with personal power or prestige. His focus is on preserving the rights and the liberty of my people.
Right.
He states that in Alma 61.9.
Yeah.
And he connects that directly to his faith.
Right.
He says, My soul standeth fast in that liberty in the which God hath made us free.
So they're not afraid to fight. But they're not bloodthirsty either.
Right.
In Alma 61.10014, Pahoran outlines their position.
Okay.
They'll defend themselves.
Yeah.
They'll even resist wickedness, even unto bloodshed. But they long for peace.
They long for peace. Yeah. Their
Right.
faith isn't in military might. It's in God.
Yeah.
They believe he can deliver them.
Right.
But they also understand that they have a responsibility to act, to stand against wickedness.
And that's where the call to action comes in. In Alma 61.1 found, Pahoran writes to Moroni, Therefore I write this epistle unto you, that ye may hasten to raise an army, and come and meet me, that we may go speedily against those dissenters in the strength of our God, according to the faith which is in us. It's a strategic plan, sure.
Yeah.
But it's also a call to unity.
Right.
Right? A rallying cry to defend their faith and their freedom.
Yeah, absolutely.
What strikes me is how honest Pahoran is in the next few verses.
Okay.
In Alma 61.1921,
Yeah.
he reveals that he initially hesitated to fight against fellow believers. It's such a human moment,
It is, yeah.
a glimpse into the internal struggle he's facing.
Yeah, it's really powerful.
He's a leader grappling with the weight of war, the moral complexities of it all.
Yeah.
But he's also seeking divine guidance,
Right.
looking for confirmation that their course is right.
Absolutely.
And he finds that confirmation in Moroni,
Okay.
who assures him that their actions are indeed inspired by God. It's a powerful testament to the importance of prophetic counsel,
Yeah.
of seeking spiritual unity in the face of adversity.
Absolutely. Yeah, very powerful.
So much is happening here. It
Yeah.
feels like we're just scratching the surface.
Indeed, there are layers upon layers of meaning to unpack in this remarkable exchange between Pahoran and Moroni.
Yeah.
Really is.
Oh, yeah.
This exchange between Pahoran and Moroni, it goes beyond, battlefield tactics.
Right.
It delves into the heart of righteous leadership during times of crisis.
It makes you think about the kind of leader we need today.
Oh, yeah.
Someone who can hold on to their principles,
Yeah.
even when everything seems to be falling apart.
Absolutely. And Pahoran exemplifies this.
Yeah.
He doesn't become bitter
Right.
or power hungry,
Right.
even though he has every right to.
Right.
Instead, he focuses on the well-being of his people,
Yeah.
their rights and liberty.
Remember what he says in Alma 61.9? I, Pahoran, do not seek for power, save only to retain my judgment seat, that I may preserve the rights and the liberty of my people.
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful stuff.
He links this directly to his faith,
Right.
adding, my soul standeth fast in that liberty in the which God hath made us free. It's a profound understanding that true freedom is rooted in God.
Yeah, and that shapes how they approach this whole conflict.
Absolutely.
They're willing to fight, yes,
Yeah.
but it's a last resort.
Right.
The ultimate goal isn't conquest.
Yeah.
It's peace and the preservation of their faith.
Right. In Alma 61.0 to 14, Pahoran lays out their principles.
Yeah.
He says, we would subject ourselves to the yoke of bondage if it were the will of the Lord. But behold, it is not. Yeah, we will not suffer ourselves to be bound by our enemies.
They're choosing to stand up for their beliefs.
Yeah.
Even when it's hard.
Absolutely.
Even when it means going to war. It's a delicate balance, isn't it?
It is. And Pahoran's commitment to action is evident when he lays out his plan in Alma 61.1518.
Okay.
He tells Moroni to hasten to raise an army so they can go speedily against those dissenters.
Yeah.
It's decisive leadership guided by faith.
He's not just sitting back
No.
and waiting for things to get better.
Right.
He's actively working towards a solution, but he's also relying on God's strength.
Absolutely.
Telling Moroni that they will go against their enemies in the strength of our God according to the faith which is in us.
And then we see this incredibly human moment where Pahoran opens up
Yeah.
about his internal struggle.
You're talking about Alma 61.1921.
Yes.
Where he admits his initial hesitation about fighting fellow believers. It adds another dimension to his character, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It shows us that he's not some untouchable figurehead. He's a man wrestling with difficult decisions.
Yeah.
A man of conscience.
And in that vulnerability,
Yeah.
there's a powerful lesson about the importance of seeking counsel, of relying on others,
Right.
especially in times of uncertainty.
Absolutely.
Pahoran accepts Moroni's confirmation that their course is right,
Right.
that they have God's backing.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful example
It is.
of two leaders working together, seeking divine guidance,
Right.
and ultimately finding unity in their purpose.
There's so much wisdom packed into this exchange between Pahoran and Moroni.
Yeah,
I feel like we could spend hours unpacking it.
I agree.
It's a timeless testament to the power of faith, the importance of freedom,
Yeah.
and the complexities of leadership in the face of adversity.
You know, it's amazing how this story from so long ago still feels so relevant today.
It really does.
You know, the challenges they faced,
Yeah.
the principles they held on to. It resonates with us even now.
It does, yeah.
Think about it.
Good.
A nation divided,
Yeah.
misinformation spreading,
Right.
leaders struggling to maintain unity
Yeah.
and to uphold freedom.
It's like looking in a mirror, isn't it?
It really is.
And that's why Pahoran's example is so important.
Yeah.
He shows us what it looks like to lead with integrity,
Right.
to anchor our actions in faith, even when things are falling apart around us.
He makes tough decisions,
Yeah,
but he doesn't let power corrupt him.
right.
He understands that true leadership is about serving others,
Yeah,
protecting their God-given rights.
absolutely. And that commitment to freedom
Right.
shapes how they view war. You know, in Alma 61.12,
Yeah?
Pahoran says, let us resist evil, and whatsoever evil we cannot resist with our words. Let us resist them with our swords, that we may retain our freedom,
Yeah.
that we may rejoice in the great privilege of our church and in the cause of our Redeemer and our God.
They see fighting as a last resort,
Yeah.
something they have to do to protect their liberty and faith.
Right.
It's not about vengeance or conquest.
It's about defending something sacred, something at the core of who they are.
It reminds us that standing up for what's right sometimes requires courage
Absolutely.
and sacrifice.
Yeah.
It's not always easy,
Yeah.
but it's essential.
Right.
You know, discerning right from wrong and having the courage to act,
Yeah.
even when it's unpopular,
Even when it's hard.
and doing so with a spirit of unity, remembering that we're stronger together,
Right.
especially when united in a cause greater than ourselves.
Greater than ourselves. Absolutely.
Just like Pahoran and Moroni,
Yeah.
working together to overcome this rebellion, drawing strength from their faith.
Yeah. What freedoms do you cherish most? You know, what principles are you willing to stand up for, even in the face of opposition?
How can we contribute to a spirit of unity?
Right, how can we?
And work together to overcome the challenges we face?
Yeah.
These are questions worth pondering. You know, thank you for joining us.
Of course.
For this discussion.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you'll subscribe to the podcast
Yeah.
for more conversations like this.
Absolutely.
Until next time.